Welcome everyone back to weekly weather updates, and in today's video we're going to have a look at the latest from the live radar. Then we'll go through the GFS, the GEM, the ECMWF, the GFS and ECMWF Ensembles, and we'll finish up having a look at the UK Met Office precipitation and temperature. Now we have a stunning day out there at the moment. Beautiful clear blue skies, plenty of sunshine and temperatures widely into the mid to high teens. We have seen the first 20 degrees since October. Now it's across parts of northwest Scotland, right up in the far north, attributed by the Fern effect that regularly gives these sort of anomaly temperatures, because it's a couple of degrees really higher than most other places where the air rises up over the mountains, descends, compresses, and warms up, and that's what we've been seeing with there. So 20 degrees has been reached across northern Scotland, widely mid to high teens. Mid to high teens, beautiful out there. I hope everyone's out there enjoying this, and there is more of this to come over the next week. Tomorrow and Monday is going to be a little bit chillier, but widely, other than that, is going to be great next week, perhaps potentially widely hitting 20 degrees. Should remember, if you enjoy my videos, make sure to like and subscribe, and remember to follow me on Twitter as well, the link's in the description. First of all, before we get into the video, I do want to put my hopes and prayers out there to Gavin from Gav's Weather Vids. Some of you may watch him, I'm assuming actually a lot of you will have watched him and have maybe not seen or have seen his recent news that he's been diagnosed with mouth cancer. So I just want to put my prayers out there. So beforehand, he's been on YouTube for like a decade now plus, so I just put my hopes and prayers out for him out there, and I hope everyone does go out there and support him while he goes through treatment, of course. So we do start by having a look at the live radar. You can see really no clouds in the sky at the moment. Beautiful out there. A few clouds down the far south of Ireland with a few patchy showers, but nothing significant at all. You can see though out towards Germany a few showers out there, and that's that slight cold pool which is heading in tomorrow and into Monday, cooling things down a little bit, but you know, it shouldn't be too bad. It'll still be sunny, and there'll be a few showers in the far east, but nothing too significant at all, before things turn much warmer and drier widely again next week with 20 degrees, very much on the cards for many areas in central England. So do now have a look at the GFS, have a look what that's showing over the next couple of weeks. Now, it is showing very warm conditions, I must say so myself, perhaps early summer from this latest GFS run, with bringing up a real warm air mass at the end of its run. So you can see at the moment, high pressure in control. We see that slightly colder pool run up the east coast, with some showers and some chillier weather for a time. Overnight frosts will be returning, but high pressure does build back in with a southerly airflow. Real warm conditions by the middle of next week, widely getting up into mid to high teens, if not 20 degrees, and it turns real pleasant beyond that. Just continually stays under the high pressure in a pretty mild air mass. Some low pressure interludes at times, you can see there perhaps towards the end of the run, but you can see right at the end we are pulling up a balmy southerly wind that will be keeping temperatures into the low, maybe even mid-20s for the start of April, getting that 10-degree isotherm in. Look at that temperature deviation, really quite hot indeed. Again, this is one run. It's most likely going to be a little bit of an outlier, as we'll see with the GFS Ensembles in a few minutes, but it is still showing the potential for seeing some very warm weather. Regardless though, high pressure is firmly going to be in control for the foreseeable future, looking absolutely stunning out there with a lot of dry weather. Still hints perhaps in the longer term similar to seeing very warm plunge of air. We could also see some colder plunges, as I'll show in a minute with, I think, the ECMWF run, which is showing a little bit of a colder trend at the end perhaps. But for the time being, it's warm, dry, and real settled out there. So we do have a look at the GM run, see how that does compare. Again, very similar with the easterly flow, bit of a chillier air mass down the east coast before we see high pressure continually build in for the middle of next week. It is looking, again, absolutely stunning once again. High pressure hangs around, and right towards the end of the run, we continually have this sort of southeasterly flow coming in from the near continent, which is turning warmer, getting that 5-degree isotherm in, and widely we'll be seeing temperatures get up into the mid to high teens, if not getting towards 20 degrees here. Really, really great again for the next 10 days from this GM run. As I said, potentially high signs of something reminiscent of summer, early summer coming here. it won't be like this the whole time, though. It's guaranteed that we will see some unsettled conditions coming eventually. But the next week or two looks really, really quite good to end March. Had pretty abysmal weather, really, over the last couple months. Very minimal wintry weather, which I think a lot of people like in the winter. And then we've also had the really destructive storms and a lot of rain through February. So it's nice now. We're hopefully going to be seeing some settled, warmer conditions into the end of March and hopefully the start of April. So if we do now have a look at the ECMWF run and see how that does compare over the next 10 days. Again, high pressure building in at the moment, or staying in shoal at the moment. Real strong area of high pressure, 1,050 millibars in the centre, which is really, really high. And then you see that colder pull up the east coast, and then we generally stay under high pressure right towards the end of the run. This is where I said there's potential signs of it turning a bit colder. That blocking shifts more to Greenland, and that will be an effect of the stratospheric warming we have had taking place, plunging high pressure, blocking through the atmosphere. So signs from the ECMWF of something like that. The UK isn't cold at this stage, but you can see cold air is flooding out of the Arctic into the mid-latitudes, and undoubtedly the UK would be affected by that at a certain point. So it's something we need to keep an eye on. No massive signal from it at this stage, but it's still a potential at day 10. But at least the next week is looking really warm and dry. So make sure you go out there and enjoy it. If not today, plenty of amazing days next week from Tuesday until Thursday is looking really good. Beyond that, a little bit more uncertainty, of course, with exact conditions, as it is still like sort of 5+ days away, but it's still looking pretty decent indeed with high pressure in control. So now have a look at the ensembles. Now you can see real consistent signal from the ensembles. Quite warm at the moment with the upper air conditions. That's why we're seeing some mid to high teens today. We're seeing a big drop tomorrow. That's that cold pull coming in off the near continent. Only lasting around 24 hours though before temperatures once again rise significantly again to around 2, 3, 4 degrees at 850 HPA, which is massively mild for this time of year. But with the strong spring sunshine, it's going to be really quite good. And that continues all the way to the last few days of March, where it returns more to around average. But that is because we've got a lot of outliers. You've got the real warm ensemble members, including the operational run, right at the end for the first few days of April, going heatwave like mid-20s perhaps. And then you've got other runs going much, much colder, similar to what the ECMWF run was showing, perhaps showing more of a northerly plunge. You can see there the control run, the thicker blue line, going much, much colder there, and an increase in precipitation, real minimal precipitation over the next week to 10 days. But after that, perhaps a signal of more precipitation building in. But it's still in the longer term. Of course, we're always going to get outliers in the longer term, and it's just something we need to keep an eye on. If you look at the sea level pressure, again, very high over the next 10 days, all around 1,030 millibars, so firmly under high pressure before dipping towards the end of the run. But that's because of low pressure outliers and just more spread really coming within the ensembles. So we now have a look also at the 2 meter temperatures. You can see yesterday forecasted around 13-14 degrees at midday, got a little bit higher than that, and tomorrow a bit chillier, only 9 or 10 degrees, but by the middle of next week widely 15-16 degrees. And of course the ensemble members are always a couple degrees below what it is. They don't always take into account the strong spring sunshine that does increase temperatures, and of course some local effects like the Föhn effect, something like that, but also along the east coast it may be colder because we've got more of an easterly flow. That's something we do need to keep an eye on, but it's looking widely mid to high teens over the next week or so, all the way to next weekend, for a little bit more uncertainty comes in with a bit more spread within the ensembles, but of course that is expected in the longer term. So if we do have a look at the ECMWF ensembles, have a look at the net temperature at 850 HPA and precipitation over the next couple of weeks. You can see very similar, warm at the moment, dropping much colder over the next day or two, and then returning well above average again, around 4-5 degrees at 850 HPA, all the way and through the first until the last couple of days of March, where we do see a little bit of a cooling trend. But again, very warm ensemble member outliers, very cold ensemble member outliers, and it sort of averages out to around the 1981-2010 mean, really. So can't say too much really about that. Precipitation signal does increase slightly, but again, that is those low pressure outliers coming in. So looking very warm and dry over the next week or two, looking really, really quite great. So if you finish up the video by having a look at the UK Met Office run, have a look at precipitation and temperature, you can see hardly any clouds in the sky and any showers at all really. And that continues over the course of this evening, stunning evening, before some more clouds build in over the course of this evening into tomorrow afternoon, turning a little bit chillier with that colder pool coming in the far southeast. You can see a few of those showers along the east coast, perhaps, as that moves away. Still really quite dry, a few showers potentially breaking out on Tuesday, maybe even some thundery showers. You can see some red in there, some big convective showers, but mostly pretty decent. And through Wednesday, looking stunning through Wednesday afternoon. Mid to high teens, if not getting towards 20 degrees locally. Weather front trying to push in through Thursday, so perhaps signal of a little bit more of low pressure returning in the far northwest, with high pressure waning a bit, but it's still 5 days away, so these sort of very small weather fronts can change positioning quite significantly in that period of time, so not guaranteed, but we'll keep an eye on that. If you have a good max temperatures, you can see today, forecasted only really around 13 to 15 degrees, maybe 16, 17 degrees across northern Scotland. It's been 2 or 3 degrees warmer than that. And this is another scenario where normally in the spring and autumn, the models do underestimate the temperatures with the real warm sunshine out there. Beyond that, through Saturday evening into Sunday, a bit of an overnight frost for some. We do have clear skies. Temperature dropping away still, but by the mid-afternoon, 9, 10, 11 degrees, a bit chillier, but nothing massively cold, more around average. Overnight frost with that much colder upper air conditions for early hours on Monday, but by Monday afternoon those temperatures are starting to rise once again. 15, 16 degrees in the south, still chillier in the north, but those temperatures will rise quite quickly. And by Tuesday afternoon, widely 17, 18 degrees. Now remember, along the east coast perhaps it could be a little bit colder than that, only around sort of low teens because of the easterly flow dragging in the air off the cooler North Sea. So that's something we have to keep an eye on always this time of year, with the cold sea surface temperatures. So unfortunately, if you're along the east coast, you may still be getting some cooler conditions and maybe some sort of sea mist as well, unfortunately. Beyond that, into Wednesday, still chillier overnight, but Wednesday afternoon, another stunning afternoon, 16, 17 degrees, most likely going to be a couple of degrees warmer, that's in spots. And by early hours of Thursday, a little bit chilly once again, but I expect those temperatures to respond significantly as well, because again, if you have a look at the HPA temperatures, you can see even though it's a little bit chillier at times, it's all down to that real warm spring sunshine that's going to be building up those temperatures. So it's going to be really nice over the next week, so make sure you go out and enjoy it, and hopefully everyone out there loves this spring sunshine, and hopefully it does last, and these sort of early summer-like conditions do hang around for a bit, because I know a lot of people would love to get out there and enjoy it. As I said, it's been the first time in many, many months we've had dry, warm weather since probably September, October time. So anyway, thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you again for another video soon.